Hey, hi friends, this is Atul Patrikar with Sai Patrikar. So here is part 2 for SQL Profiler versus extended event. Okay, so now are you still using SQL Profile in SQL Server? Then you might be slowing down your production server without even realizing it. In this video I will explain SQL Profile versus extended events, why Profiler is deprecated, and what you should be using instead of SQL Profiler. Okay, so now SQL Profiler versus extended events in SQL Server, and we also showing the demo how we can capture the store procedure even if we don't know the procedure name. Okay, so I already created one API. I will show you that API. Okay, I already created this API for society management, and I hosted in my local server. Okay, so I need to check which stored procedure using this API. Okay, so now I'm going to the SQL server. Okay, before opening this I will give you the basic intro regarding that SQL Profiler. So section like what is the SQL Profiler. So SQL Profiler is a graphical tool introduced way back in SQL Server 2000. It allows us to capture events like queries, store procedure, logins, lock and deadlocks. Okay, sounds useful, right? But here is the problem. Okay, so like SQL Profiler runs synchronously, meaning SQL Server events are captured immediately, and this creates high overhead. In simple word, the more activity your server has, the slower it becomes. Another big issue: Profiler capture everything first and filter the data afterward. This wastes CPU memory and disk IO. So that's why Microsoft officially says SQL Profiler is deprecated. Okay, now here you can see I have already opened the SQL Server Management Studio here. Now under this menu, tool menu, you can see SQL Server Profiler. Okay, you need to put some like server name, authentication, login ID and password. Now here you can see we have a template window open, trace properties. So now I will society API trace. Okay, we need to capture a store procedure or any of that ad hoc queries in this tool. So you can see I'm going to select this TSQL for the tracing our store procedure. And in this event selection you can see we have the events like security edit, session, store procedure, batch starting, RPC, existing connection. We have this type of events, and you can see as well that columns here, and you can also filter out based on this. Okay, but we don't know the in which database is used for that API, we don't know, so that's the reason I'm not adding any filter for this template. Okay, now click on the run button. Now you can see our trace is started. Now I'm reloading this browser. Okay, so now this all API methods require API controller required the token. So first thing I'm going to generate a token first. Okay, I have some login ID or password to generate the token. So this all controller is required the authentication token. Okay, now I'm using my own email ID. Password and flag. Click on execute. Okay, now you can see we are successfully generated token. Okay, now I'm going to the SQL Profiler trace. So here you can see we have, so basically this procedure is used. Okay, this procedure is used. You can see execcsp execute SQL. The procedure name is tbl user and we have provided some parameters to fetch data from the database. Now I'm going to execute this here. Okay, now you can see we are able to get the record from the database, so we can easily track this API store procedure. So this store procedure is used by this API method. Okay, the method name is token. Now I'm going to execute one more method to get all user details. Okay, so we have this schema society user. Under that society user we have these methods get all users. Here we need to pass user ID and flag. Okay, so flag is a report. Okay, now you can see, oh sorry, unauthorized. We need to authorize this first. Okay, so now I'm just globally authorize the all methods. Now I'm pasting that token here. Now you can see we are able to authorize. Now I'm going to execute that user get all user details method. Okay, so we already put required parameter in this JSON request body. So now you can see we are able to fetch the all users. Okay, so we have these users like my wallpaper, Shiva Mauchar, FreeWire. We have all these user available in the system. Okay, so now I am again going to this SQL Profiler. Now here you can see you need to just check RPC starting in this. You can see RPC starting. Under that RPC starting you can see here. Okay, we have this method, we have this procedure. So now I'm stopping this trace. Okay, so you can see we have pass email ID, password, flag, email details. So we are able to fetch this store procedure, or we are able to track the store procedure. So this is the confirm we use this store procedure in this API. Okay, so the now next thing is, I will show you with the extended profiler. Okay, now I'm going to stop that. Now here in that objects explorer you can see there is one tree XEvent profiler. Under that XEvent profile I'm selecting the SQL TSQL. So now let's talk about the modern solution, extended events, also called XEvent. Extended events was introduced in SQL Server 2008 and is lightweight, highly scalable and designed for real production environment. Instead of capturing everything, XEvent capture only what you ask for. Okay, so now again I'm going to execute this one more time, get all user details one more time, and now we can check here. So you can see we can also able to track that procedure name here. Okay, so we got this statement name. You can see you can copy this statement from here and just paste this statement here. Okay, just remove statement and again click on execute button. So you can see we are able to fetch this record in SQL Server. Okay, so like this you can also trace the all store procedure, ad hoc queries and any SQL objects in this without knowing the exact database name or the store procedure or objects name. So like this you can trace that all things. So the key difference and comparison, like let's compare them side by side. So SQL Profiler is like high performance impact, single threaded, not safe for production, and the SQL Profiler is deprecated. And extended event is very low overhead, asynchronous, and production safe, then actively supported by Microsoft. And one powerful feature of XEvent is like filtering happens before data capture, not after. So that's a huge performance win. And like the SQL Profiler is not supported in the Azure future support, but extended event is mandatory for Azure support. And with SQL Server you can capture everything. Server slows down, production users complain. And with extended events, capture only queries running more than 5 seconds, minimal impact and accurate result. Same goal but totally different outcome. So the when should you use XEvent, and you should use XEvent when. So monitoring production server, troubleshooting performance issue, then analyzing deadlocks or waits, and preparing for SQL interviews. Okay, and always choose XEvent over Profiler. And I will give you the one-liner of interview bonus. Okay, if an interviewer asks what's the difference between SQL Profiler and XEvent, so answer is this, like SQL Profiler is depreciated due to high overhead, and extended events is lightweight, asynchronous, and the recommended monitoring tool for SQL Server. Okay, so if this video is help you understand SQL Profiler versus extended events, so hit like, subscribe for more SQL Server tips, and comment below if you want a more video on XEvent script or deadlock analysis. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video.